Hey guys, it's John here from Curavita. Just going to read through a blog post we put up on our blog the other day. Just before I get started though, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click the link in the description below and you can find the actual blog post on our site. And don't forget, we sell a range of health products here at Curavita. We've got our green juice powder, some protein powder, and our hemp products. So if you're interested, head on over and look at those. Okay, so this is what I was interested in the other day when I read a few articles and just wanted to sort of summarize in a bit of a blog post. How to improve gut health, the link between a healthy gut and mental health. So there's been quite a bit of research done on it, but there's still no real proof that, although many would argue, that the health of your gut is attributable to your mental health. But I'll just read through the post we put together, and then you guys can make up your own minds. Over the last 10 years or so, there's been a lot of research conducted around the world into the role between the link of health of your gut and your mental health. With a number of people in the Western world taking antidepressive medicine, many questions are being asked about the role diet plays in mental health. The possibility of alternative ways to combat the issue is at the forefront of research. So here we've got an image here. Below are the figures of people taking antidepressive drugs per country. Now, I was shocked when I saw this. So in the United States, out of 1,000 people, there's 110 out of 1,000 people. So 11% of the population is taking antidepressive drugs. And then I was even shocked further when I saw Australia that about 9% of our population takes antidepressive drugs. So Australia is a reasonably happy country. I know there's a lot of talk about depression, and I just wonder whether the rates have gone up since of people being on depressive drugs since people have become more educated about depression. So it becomes a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. But anyway, that's for another day to discuss that. So the United States shows a staggering 11% of Americans over the age of 12 are taking antidepressants. This is a sobering statistic. Iceland is second on the list with 106 out of every 1,000 people taking antidepressants, and third, to my surprise, is Australia with 89 out of 1,000 people taking antidepressants. But to come to think of it, when I think about my peers and my friends, probably 2 out of 10 that I know would be taking which is 20% obviously, would be taking antidepressants. So I suppose it's not such a crazy figure when you think about it. So the link between antidepressant usage and obesity levels. So the image below shows the OECD obesity levels per country. No surprise, it's the United States. I think that's pretty well known. And Australia is number 5. So this is an interesting statistic here. So this is not the link between antidepressant usage and obesity levels. This is the top 10 most obese OECD countries. So yeah, America's number 1, and Australia number 5, and then a lot of the Western countries in there as well. So what do these statistics tell us? Not much on a surface, but within 2 minutes of research, you quickly realize that when you align these statistics with the obesity levels per country, there is some correlation between obesity and antidepressant usage. It's a bit of a throwaway line, but it's just, as you read through the literature, you kind of form that opinion, or I did anyway. When you factor in the known problem with overly processed foods, fast food, carbohydrate intake, and other dietary related problems, it doesn't take a rocket science to form the opinion that there may be a link between mental health and diet, even before you delve deeper into the scientific literature of why this is the case. Okay, the scientific studies on the gut mental health link. There have been many studies on this topic. Research scientist John Cryan of the APC Microbiome Institute at the University College of Cork in Ireland is an expert in this area. He commented in this article from The Scientist, "It may seem odd that my research focuses on the gut if I'm interested in the brain, but when you think of how we express emotion in language through sayings like butterflies in your tummy and gut feeling, it isn't surprising that they're connected." Further to this, there have been many studies that show a link between probiotics and mental health. However, many of these studies have been on rodents only. So that's where studies are not completely, not completed fully on humans yet. UCLA biologist Emerald Mayer was one of the first researchers to test the hypothesis in humans. The outcome of the research showed that when probiotic yogurt was administered to a group of young women of twice a day for 4 weeks, they found that the women had a reduced brain response to negative images. And there's a link to the article there. However, many researchers are still hesitant to conclude that probiotics can cure mental illness such as anxiety. And certainly that's within the healthcare or sort of alternative medical industry. There's a lot of talk about probiotics doing amazing things, and they are, but there's no real scientific proof that probiotics are going to cure mental illness. A diet of plant-rich anti-inflammatory diet can help depression. So the article here in the Conversation in 2018 aggregated a number of studies and found a pattern where plant-rich diets can reduce the risk of depression. Further to this, avoiding overly processed foods and foods with high levels of saturated fats will also reduce the risk of depression. Foods high in omega-3, such as natural hemp protein powders, and foods with high anti-inflammatory properties will also reduce the risk. Referring back to the research above by Emerald Mayer, while he stopped short of indicating that probiotics can cure depression, he did endorse the use of prebiotics, such as superfood with inulin powder, to improve the overall health of the gut, which may be linked to mental health. Keeping the gut microbiome in balance. One of the keys to keeping the gut microbiome in balance seems to be ensuring your diet is moderated when it comes to saturated fats. A high-fat diet will cause an imbalance in microbes of your gut. Larger molecules can then pass into the bloodstream via a more permeable intestine, allowing the molecules to interact with brain function. A better diet. While it seems scientists are not willing to completely conclude that gut health is linked to mental health, all the evidence does point in that direction. If nothing else, there is nothing to lose in reducing the amount of fatty foods in your diet, increasing the amount of plant-based fiber and natural pre and probiotics, omega-3s, fiber and anti-inflammatory properties in your diets. Then I've just got a list of our products that are relevant to this. So that's sort of what we're on about here, especially in Cure Vita, the team and myself, is you've got nothing to lose by just thinking about your health and consuming a better diet. And there's a little bit of research and scientific data obviously behind it here, but there's masses of it out there as well. So you can do your own research if you think you need to learn a little bit more about it. So that's the article on a summary of improving your gut health, improving your mental health and improving your gut health, and the link between the two. Thanks. We'll catch you in the next video.